This ring here is worth $1 million. And I know you're probably thinking, well, it's made out of gold or platinum or it's designed at Tiffany's, and no, none of that. Hello, my loves. If you guys can start double tapping that screen and let me know where you're watching from, it will help push this out to the FYP. And as soon as we hit about 10 people, we can start reading. So the more you guys can interact with the live, like, comment, let me know where you're watching from, how you're feeling, the faster we can get started. I only have about an hour and a half today because I have private mentorship students. About an hour and a half, hour, 45 minutes. So it'll be a short live today. Oh my goodness, I can't stop yawning. I see you. I do see you. I'm gonna try and help people, okay? You don't need to be on my lap every second. I know. Hi. You're gonna get me all dirty. Who's your baby? Hi. Say hi, Sadie. Yes. Hello, loves. Okay. I see you. I know. You're so excited. Oh, ow, shit. That hurt. What are you doing? Okay, go lay down. Sadie, go lay down. No. I hear you. But you don't need to be in my lap. I'm gonna do some things, okay? We'll cuddle later. If you guys can double tap that screen, let me know where you're watching from. Tell me how you're feeling in this eclipse energy. Help this get pushed out to the FYP. That would be amazing. And we'll start doing readings when I hit about 10 people online. Sadie, go lay down. Go lay down right now. Go. Bed. Go to bed. Go to bed. Go to bed. You listen like a rock. I'm not going to start answering questions till we hit about 10 people, so the more you guys can interact with the live, the faster we can start readings. And how are you guys all feeling? I know for me, this energy is just, I feel it in my body. Like my body hurts. I'm tired. Like my literal bones are sore. It's crazy. Drained, yeah. Aches, yep. Tired and foggy. Sounds about right. I wish I could say it's gonna get better. It's only gonna get more intense the rest of the month. So make the best of it as much as you can. No, ma'am. Lay down. This dog's gonna be the death of me. I have a full update on YouTube for March, but the most intense part of March is the last 2 weeks of it. So we have the equinox after this eclipse. We have the solar eclipse in Aries, which is super, super intense. It's more intense than this one. So in addition to that, there's just an extreme amount of photonic light coming in as we shift into the new Earth frequencies, and it's just incredibly intense. And a lot of the alignments astrologically that are happening are things that we haven't seen since the 1800s or even beyond. So they're just very potent shifts, and it's really meant to wake us up, expand our consciousness, and help us to go towards our destiny, the direction we're meant to be going in. So eclipses are always, I call it table flipping energy. It picks you up and takes you to where you need to be. It can cause destruction. It can stop you in your tracks. It can force you to rest. It can do all kinds of things. Some people don't have major experiences during it. I usually find during the eclipse, like right now we're in the most intense part of the eclipse energy. This is when we feel the most in our body, but usually whatever's going to happen in our life, that's the causation, right? That moment, that shift, it either happens before the eclipse or weeks after the eclipse. So for me, most of it happened before. It's already happened. And once the eclipse moves through, usually a few days later, we start to have a little bit of clarity, but it's gonna feel like a landslide. Everything's gonna go really fast, faster than it already is. And it's just gonna be intense. Now, don't mistake intense for negative. Intense means impactful. It's going to penetrate your life in some way, shape, or form. Your reaction or response to that penetration is what's going to cause suffering or adventure, or however you want to take it, right? So whatever's happening, let go and just choose how you respond to it. If you're attached and you're holding on, you're going to create suffering in your life. Mercury retrograde is a part of that. Venus retrograde, which doesn't happen as often as Mercury, that's a part of it. There's a whole list of things. But the equinoxes and the solstices, the guides have long said, are the most potent energy of all. They trump the eclipses. They trump these made-up portals humans give, like the 2-2 portal or the 3-3-3 portal on the dates. Gotta remember, we created the Gregorian calendar, right? So none of that is real. It's real for us to have a linear experience. So the most important energy is always the equinox and the solstice energy. It's the turning of the tides, it's the rebalancing. And so having that in between two eclipses is pretty gnarly in itself. Okay, we just hit 10. So now I can do my little spiel and we can get started on reading. So for those of you who are new to me, I'm Johanna Burkhardt. I'm a multidimensional channel, teacher, healer, and self-help author. And my mission is to help you to be the change that you want to see so that you can create the reality that you are desiring. And I do that through teaching you how to shift your frequency, how to have trust and faith and live in uncertainty, because everything's uncertain anyway. It's really about solidifying that foundation within you, getting in tune with your intuition, opening up your extrasensory abilities, having good boundaries, those types of things. When I come live here, it's to do more traditional readings. It's to be of service. It's to let people get to know me, to hear my stories, my wisdom, things like that, to see how I read. With that being said, today I'm doing free yes or no's. So it's one free yes or no per person if I'm called to you. If I'm not, that means I'm not hearing a solid yes or no, and I'm not going to make up an answer. I'm going to tell you what is coming through, if anything. If you would like a reading, a mini read from your guides, whether you want to ask a specific question or you want a general mini read, those are by donation. The minimum donation is $15. I prefer Cash App or Venmo, but I also have PayPal. That's all linked in my bio in the tip jar. If you do donate, please let me know that you donated and where you donated, it needs to have your first and last name as well, and then you will get prioritized. If you have general questions about the energy, about the healing journey, shadow work, spiritual development, feel free to drop those. If you're struggling in a certain area of your life, feel free to share that, and I will do my best to help you any way I can. Christy, yes, as long as you are communicating. There needs to be more communication. Liz, will I get the job in, I need to put my glasses on, Bakersfield soon? Yes. Renee, is Tony in love with me? No. Will Ben go into business with me? Yes. You need to make sure that the contracts between the two of you and the communication is crystal clear. Like, you need to put everything in writing, like boundaries, responsibilities, those types of things. Sandra, at some level, yes, but I don't think that that's going to be something that's going to work out for you guys in the long term. Marie, no. Stephanie, when I read your question, it feels like one of you will be there, and it's like it's a weird feeling. It's almost like something happens and one of you can't. I don't know. I don't feel like they both are going to be there at the same time. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's what I feel. Susie Q, can you reword your question? You're welcome, Stephanie. Erica, I actually think you're going to end up doing something else. Tori, no. And I'm just going to tell you guys right now, if any of you are asking about romantic relationships, go listen to the most recent podcast episode of Cosmic Blonde. If you're wanting him back, if you're wondering if he's going to come back to you, if he's going to call you, if he wants you, if he loves you, if he's going to choose you, those are questions that come out of fear and desperation from attachment styles and insecurity and inner child wounds. Go listen to that Cosmic Blonde episode. You guys have to stop chasing love, stop pining and wishing for things like that to happen. Everything happens for a reason. Rejection is redirection. It's telling you that that's not for you. Can some of those relationships come into be? Yes, but it's only going to be a lesson most of the time. It's very rarely does that work out when it's not in a good place at the given moment. So remember that. It could be I'm disorganized, so it could be fearful avoidant, which is more of a disorganized attachment. It could be anxious. It could just be someone who's insecure. And that's okay. We've all been there. I've been there. But I'm going to keep telling you guys that because it breaks my heart when I see a flood of people coming in asking, is this person going to choose me? Will they come back to me? Do they want me? Want yourself. Want yourself more. Choose yourself more. Don't do that. Don't give your power and your worth and your happiness and your peace to something outside of you like that. It's not healthy. So heal. And I say that with love, because I wish someone would have fucking told me that 10 years ago. It would have saved me a whole lot of trauma. Will my writing and teaching metaphysical workshop classes be successful? Yes, but you got to work on your belief that you're worthy of it and yourself. Yes, exactly. Center yourself. Because that's what happens. We put people on pedestals. We romanticize them. You know, we get intoxicated by them. We want them to choose us. But 9 times out of 10, it has nothing to do with them. It has everything to do with the fact that your parents didn't choose you. Your parents weren't there for you. And you're trying to reconcile that from childhood still. What you don't reconcile from your childhood will try to be reconciled in your romantic relationships always. Sunny, yes. See, here's another one. Do you think I crossed Ariel's mind today? What does it matter? Kendra, yes. Andrea, no, he did not. Sadie, quit it. Sadie. You know when the dog's licking themselves? I can't stand that noise. I'm super clairaudient and my hearing is so sensitive. It literally drives me insane. Insane. And these lives, by the way, they are uploaded to my YouTube channel. So if you get a reading, if you get a mini read, or you hear something on here that you want to remember, you can always go back and look tomorrow on YouTube. It should be there. Sadie. Hey, Sadie. Maria, that's not, I don't have a for sure yes or no on that. It means there's things that are still up in the air. Yeah, what is that project called? I forget what it's called, but I had all kinds of different tests done. I forget what the word for it is. Oh, the GATE program, thank you. My guides popped in and told me. I was a part of the GATE program, so my hearing was tested. I had to look at images, all of those things. It's like the government knows the children who are a little bit more open than the others. Yeah, it's a project. It's not active anymore, but back in the 70s and 80s, it was called the GATE Project. And not all children were a part of it, but we had to look at imagery and symbols, and we had our hearing tested. Some kids went to special classes. Yeah, it's a whole rabbit hole. A whole rabbit hole. I think it was classifying gifted children. No, but I did see beings, interdimensional beings, as early as 3. I always was very intuitive. I had psychic visions and dreams, And I shut my gifts down probably around the age of 8 or 9, somewhere in there, between 7, 8, 9, somewhere in that neighborhood. Yes, you can do one yes or no for free. If you guys want a mini read, they are a minimum donation of $15. Yes, Bailey, you should. Brittany, he might, but I wouldn't give it any attention. Remember, you guys, if you guys are wanting to be chosen, picked, does he think of me? Does he want me? Does he love me? That is not that's not healthy. That is attachment issues. That is insecurities. And I love you. And I say that with love because I was there and I wish someone would have told me that. Go listen to Cosmic Blonde. Go listen to my last episode. It will change your life because you have to choose you. You have to prioritize you. Don't chase after people. Love yourself more. If someone doesn't want you, they're not for you. Dominique, I don't think it's there's no such thing as the one. It's the one for right now, honey. We shift and change too much for that. But I think that one will fulfill you for a period of time. I will not answer pregnancy questions. No medical. No medical, no legal, no mediumship today. You're welcome. The heart frequencies that have been coming in yesterday and today are insane. I don't know if you guys feel it, but I can literally feel it in my chest. Super, super intense and strong. I've been waking up with my heart feels like it's beating so fast and it's actually not. Yeah, so that is when you are feeling the photonic light coming into your heart. Remember, light is also information and your heart is receiving. And so it's trying to process the information as fast as it can. We are processing, and this is gonna blow your mind, hundreds of thousands of hours of information per hour. Hundreds of thousands of hours of information per hour. We never used to do that before. Over the last 4 years, that is how much it's sped up. We used to be, come 2020, we were about 1 for 1. 1 hour of information per 1 physical hour of our time. It's not like that anymore. So people have noticed over the last 4 or 5 years that they're more anxious, they're more sensitive, they're more fidgety, they have heart palpitations, maybe they're more sensitive to food, they're more sensitive to their environment, all of those things. It's because of the sheer amount of information, AKA photonic light, that's coming in to expand our consciousness. So you just have to learn to be present, which means be in your body. That's what grounded means, be present in your body, take things slow down to speed up, essentially, and just be gentle with yourself, be compassionate with yourself, because the body is what's ascending. So the body creates that physical feelings. The body is moving from carbon to crystalline. That's what ascension means. Our soul is what's evolving. So our body's the one that experiences all of the density from our lineage and our own personal beliefs and traumas. When that light comes in, it works as like a waterfall. It just penetrates that density, those blocks, those beliefs, those traumas in our body, breaking them free, bringing them up to our heart space so that we can feel them, accept them for what they are, accept us for how we are, how we feel in that moment, and that completely alchemizes it. But that's the key. whatever arises, love that, as Matt Kahn would say. It's about loving and accepting yourself in all your forms, and accepting and feeling the energy that's arising up. Yes, I try to get outside as much as I can because being outside helps me to be present and in my body. Crystal, I don't read for other people, so if Alex is not on here, I'm not going to tap into their energy. Sloan, I don't think it's all lost, but there's definite need for some real honest, transparent communication and ownership and responsibility. So if you guys can come together and have a conversation from a point of view of ownership, each taking responsibility for their part in it, I think that you can move forward. Chantel, yes. Let them go. No, please yell. Please yell. Because that's why when I'm on here, I feel like a broken record, but I feel like more people need to hear it. Like, stop wanting to be chosen, stop chasing relationships, stop wondering, do they love me? Do they miss me? Am I crossing their mind? Are we getting back together? It happened for a reason, you know? Let them go. Prioritize you. Choose you. Otherwise, you're just going to keep calling in more toxic relationships, and you're going to create more suffering in your life. So a little louder for those in the back, because like I said, I wish someone would have told me that. Thank you, Corey, for sharing the live. I don't wait for anybody to reach out to me. I don't wait for anybody to text me. I don't wait for anybody to do anything. I go live my best life. If they don't want to be a part of it and they don't make the effort, they're not worth my time, because I value and respect myself that much now. Yvette, I feel like you're going to meet someone around October, November-ish. Sarah, yes. It's not going to be easy, but you got to really also change your relationship with money, honey. Find your safety within you. That will help you. Your safety isn't in a person or in money. It's inside of you. Will I ever get my energy back? Yes. Right now, you need to rest. You need to sleep. You need to meditate. You need to go outside. You need to slow things down. You need to have grace and compassion. It will come back. Tanya, there is definitely a soul contract there. That looks like there is good potential. Just be present and in the moment and let things unfold, honey. You're welcome. So I'm all water. I'm a Cancer sun, Pisces moon, Scorpio rising, Cancer Venus. I also have Scorpio in my 12th house. So majority, if there's charts that will tell you how what sign you have the most of. I have the most Pisces. I think it's just because it's my moon sign. But yeah, I'm pretty intuitive. I'm pretty emotional, and I'm all water. Some days that is a curse and not a blessing, but I just roll with it. All these planets that have been in Pisces and Cancer have really been a lot for me, but one day at a time, right? That's all you can do. And then my midheaven is Virgo. So this eclipse is hitting my persona, my career. Thank you, Kim. I hope you're having a great day too. It's 222 here in Texas. Rachel, if you want to, you need to get clear though about why you want to. What is your motivating factor on that? Because I don't think it's what you think it is. So once you get clear about your motivating factor, I feel like you might change your mind about even wanting to do that. Sarah, if you're already asking that question, you already know the answer. Ask yourself, what are you holding on for? What needs aren't being met? What are you wanting that you don't have? If you can answer those questions, you'll be really clear about your answer. But if you're asking that question, you're asking for permission. You're not asking for validation. Just do what you feel like you need to do. Being rocked in the relationship area under the eclipse energy, not fun. Yeah. Well, our relationship shakeups are important because oftentimes our relationships are the mirrors of what we are unwilling to see within ourselves. That's why we call in karmic relationships. That's why we call in toxic relationships. They're mirroring back something that we're not willing to see inside of ourselves. So ask yourself what these relationships are teaching you. What is it showing you about yourself? What you're allowing or what you're accepting or what you're attracting. And then you can make the shifts and changes within you that will change who you call into you. V baby, hello. I have a same, and I talked about this a little bit on my last episode of Cosmic Blonde, my podcast. I had a whole bunch of patterns coming back up. So this eclipse is a South Node eclipse. It is Virgo energy, right? But it's South Node. South Node is our karma. It's our past beliefs. It's our past, it's our beliefs, it's our patterns, it's the things, versions of ourselves that aren't serving us. And it's wanting us to go towards the North Node, right? It's wanting us to go towards our destiny. In order to do that, we have to make sure that we're finally done with some of those patterns and beliefs. So I witnessed in my own relationship patterns, old versions of myself showing up, old calling in the same kind of person. And so I talk about that in my last episode of Cosmic Blonde. And it's wild to me how it showed up. And in fact, not only that, but this eclipse was seeded with the new moon at the beginning of September in 2024, the new moon in Virgo. And that eclipse that came shortly after on the 17th of September is the opposite of this. Yet I repeated the same pattern of last September. Except this time I saw it and I was like, ooh, yep, no. And it was just, nope, that's not me, nope. You know, when you're up leveling, your old self's gonna call you, don't answer. It's gonna keep calling, it's gonna keep wanting. But those opportunities, those people, places, and things show up in your life to give you an opportunity to choose differently, to choose you, to choose what you know is right for you, what's healthy for you, to learn from your past. And when you can't do that, or when you don't do that, then you just keep repeating it over and over again with different people dressed a little bit differently. And then it gets more intense and more and dramatic until it's so big that you have no choice but to look at it. So whatever's going on in your life right now, it is a pattern. Okay, we have somebody who paid, so I have to prioritize them. Venmo. Brittany, do you have a specific question or do you want a general? General, okay. Yeah, if you're a Virgo, I'm sure you're feeling a lot of that. Okay, I'm going to pause doing yes or no's right now so I can focus on Brittany's, because she paid for a mini read. So if you guys can honor that, I would be grateful. If you hear me belch like I'm doing right now and I'm doing a reading for you, please drink lemon water today because that means I'm clearing on your behalf. I'm clearing some of your energy. Brittany, what are you holding back? There's something you need to speak or do. Your throat chakra is bulging. And yes, March is an energy of throat chakra. I talked about that in the energy update that's on YouTube. But this feels like I have the biggest softball in my throat and there's just something, it's like hard to swallow. It's like I'm not saying what I need to speak. And they're saying it's from the heart, like there's something on your heart. There's something on your heart that you're not speaking. There's things that actions that need to be taken that you're not taking and you're holding yourself back. And I'm not sure why. It feels like it's coming from a space of resistance or fear, maybe out of judgment or uncertainty of what's gonna happen, because I can feel that in stress in your jaw, that fear and resistance in your jaw, so that's there as well. So whatever that is, you gotta speak it, you gotta take the action. Dogs are about to start barking. Hey, no one's talking to you. No, they can't even hear you. There's a lot of energy also coming into your heart. It feels like it just wants to bust open. They're saying that you've been kind of on a self-love journey and really starting to see, like you're starting to see things a little bit more clearly when it comes to yourself. I feel like that has its own evolution that's coming. I feel like there's more that's coming for that. Obviously, it's something that always evolves, but I feel like there's more ahas and revelations coming for you that's really going to help you to trust and love and prioritize you and your worth. Having boundaries, things like that. It's blocking your comments, so hold on a second. Wow, very much so. Old flame went out the other night. Definitely a pattern coming up. Oh, that's not for you. That's not the Brittany I'm speaking to. It confused me for a second. There's just so much energy right here. I almost feel like you're gonna be undergoing like some type of physical transformation. You might change your look. Like I feel like you're gonna come, like I don't know how to say this other than I feel like over the next short period of time, whatever that may be, it could be a month, it could be 3 months, but I feel like as we come out of this energy and you start to have more of these aha moments, your awareness, your heart opens even more, you're gonna go through an external transformation. So like changing your look, changing your hair, the way you dress, the way you wear your makeup, any of those things. Like it just makes me feel like there's gonna be because of this inner transformation that's currently underway and taking place, I feel like your external is going to go through a transformation as well. They also keep saying that there's a new opportunity coming for you. I'm feeling around 6 months-ish or so. Remember, time is fluid, so that, you know, hold that with a grain of salt. But there's a new opportunity coming for you. But again, this comes out of the birth of this transformation that you're currently undergoing. Also, I think a lot has to do with work as well. I just feel like there's this, you're just going under this big shift and transformation. And it's a good thing. It's all leading to good places. Don't misconstrue it. I don't feel like it's anything bad. I just feel like you're going through this internal shift, and it's waking you up to seeing yourself in a different way. And once you do, you're going to start to change the external. It's just going to happen very naturally. This opportunity that's coming, though, is a blessing. It is a blessing. So when it comes, jump on it, take it. You may be hesitant a little bit. You may have a little, should I do this, anxiety, because I feel like it's going to be something that you're going to deem as a risk, but it's not. It's definitely something that you will thrive in. But again, it's still a little ways out. You've got to go through this transformation, and you're feeling lost. That makes perfect sense, because anytime you're in the midst of the transformation, that's when you feel lost, because you're no longer who you once were, but you're not quite who you're meant to be yet. You've jumped. So you took the leap off the cliff, and you're in mid-jump across the ravine, and you haven't quite landed or integrated into who you're going to be. You're in the shift, in the transition. So it's okay to be lost. And when we're lost, what should we do? Focus on ourselves. Focus on our beliefs. Focus on how we feel. Focus on taking care of ourselves. And when you focus on you, the focus becomes on you, right? So it makes perfect sense that you would feel lost, because you're in the middle of the shift. I always say when we're in between, when we're in that in between, you've let go of some beliefs, but you haven't quite created the new beliefs. And in this space, this is when the old versions of us start calling. This is when the old patterns start showing up, because it's giving us opportunity after opportunity to choose differently, to say, does this still resonate with you? Is this how you want to operate still? Is this what you still believe? Because it's wanting to create that bridge, that solidified bridge between who you were and who you are going to be. And so remember that every time something shows up, you need to really ask yourself, do I believe this? How do I want to respond to this? How have I always responded to this? How can I choose different? And then take action from that space. And that will make things speed up a bit. It's not like you might not date or go out with people, but you're not, I don't feel you're gonna meet like your person this year. I feel like that's something that's gonna come later on. And don't let that dishearten you. There's things that are aligning for you. So use any dating or any short-term relationships or experiences as an opportunity to get to know somebody and to grow and to shift, right? And remember that we're moving through and changing timelines and versions of ourselves hundreds of times a day. Most of the time we don't notice it because they're so small, but we're going through big shifts as well. So this could all change, right? You could make huge quantum leaps and align yourself perfectly in 4 months from now. So don't take that as stone. But right now, when I look at your timelines, I feel like it's next year sometime. But again, it doesn't mean you're not going to have fun. You're not going to meet people. You're not going to go out. You just use it as an opportunity to refine what it is that you want, what it is that you like, what is it that you want to experience, how you want to show up in the relationship, it will be very beneficial for what's coming. Because here's the thing, you guys, listen when I say this. When you meet your soulmate, okay, we have 7 soulmates, and not all soulmates are romantic, by the way. Your soulmate can be a best friend, it could be a sibling. But when we meet our romantic soulmate, they will feel like peace. It will feel almost boring. It will feel like homeostasis. It'll feel like you could sit together and not say a word and be perfectly okay. It will feel so peaceful, so steady, so consistent. It won't be hard. You won't be chasing each other. It won't be any of that. So sometimes we have to get that out of our system. Sometimes we have to figure out what that peace is for us in order for us to be aligned to it. Do you have any questions about any of that, my love? But that's what we have for you. And I'm excited for you. So give yourself some grace while you're in the transition. You're welcome. Christine's in the house. I love you. I miss you. I hope so. I'm going to be going to San Diego in October, and my mom's going to want to fly me, but I'm probably going to drive. So I might stop by then, but I hope I get to see you this year. Jacqueline, yes. Karen, no. But this is a tricky question to ask you guys, because then it taints your relationship and where you are right now. So be where you are, enjoy it. People come into our lives for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. So it's never wasted. Heather, I would have to tap into his energy to know that. But when I look at your contract, that's a hard choice that you have to make. You have to get really clear with yourself about what you're willing to do and what you're willing to accept and experience, because he's got to walk his path, and he's going to struggle until he chooses not to struggle anymore. Yeah, you should come out here. We should like go camping or something. Let's go get in the wilderness. Jenny, do you not feel safe? I feel like your weight has more to do with you not feeling safe. I feel like when you can start to feel safe again, the weight will fall off. Also, you just need to find get rid of processed foods and sugars and just get really clear on what feels good in your body and do that consistently. I feel like for you, it's a safety thing. Aline, I actually think he's going to find you. Helen, wait for something else. Heather, I don't think it's gonna be a medical doctor. I feel like you're gonna find a naturopath or an integrative doctor who is both holistic and medical MD. I feel like they're the ones. I love you, Christine. Have a good day. Monica, I would have to read your brother, and he has not given me his permission, so. Do you see me getting a career offer this month? I actually feel like it will be more, it could be the end of this month, but I actually feel like it'd probably be closer to the beginning of April. Bella, I'm not sure what you're asking. Are you asking if your energy is going to shift today? The more specific, you've got to remember these are very quick connects, so the more specific you can be, the more it helps me. I feel like your energy is going to shift in a few days. Give yourself at least 3 or 4 days, but you need to rest. You need to, like, nervous system rest. Can you let yourself be? Can you be okay with what you're in right now instead of fighting with it and resisting it? For everybody who's asking about relationships, I'm just going to keep replaying the record. If you're wanting to know if they're going to reach out to you, if they're choosing you, if they love you, if they're thinking about you, that is not a healthy relationship right out the gate. Choose you, prioritize you, love yourself enough. Don't chase. If they're not reaching out, if they're not choosing you, if they're not contacting you, they're not the one for you. And every time you wait, you're giving your power away. Hi, Shelly. Will my business improve? Yes, I think you're going to see the most growth in about 3 to 4 months. Will Justin and I reconcile our marriage? There's a chance. I do see a potential there. It comes back to being brutally honest with what you guys need from each other and if you are a compatible match. I just don't think you guys are a match anymore. Things can grow and change, but until you're very clear about what you need and what you want and what how you've changed, because you guys have changed, that's the foundation to be able to support it. Can it happen? Absolutely. But it's going to take both of you having a real honest look at yourselves and coming to the table with that communication. If I don't answer your question, it's because I'm not getting a clear yes or no. It means that things are not as black and white. I'm not even sure what that comment means there. Grace, yes. Alicia, yes. I think your bakery is going to be very successful, by the way. Will I get a boyfriend this year? Yeah, you're going to meet somebody. Thank you for the follow. Will we own a home this year? You're gonna own a home. I'm not quite sure if it's this year or early next year. Honestly, I would wait because we're about to go into a recession. So stack away your money, prepare for it, but the market's gonna shift and it's gonna open it up. So just be ready. Shannon, I don't get a yes or no either way. I feel like there's still things. Sometimes when I don't get a yes or no, it can be multiple reasons. It can be because there's things that haven't, information that hasn't come through yet. There's alignments that haven't happened. There's things that, you know, it's not solidified. It can also be because you knowing that will sabotage it. Sometimes you guys knowing the answers that you want messes everything up. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but it does. Because then oftentimes people don't go do the thing that they were going to do that's going to create the path and plan. So keep that in mind. You know, when I don't get an answer for you, it's not personal. It's sometimes it's happening for you. Danielle, go listen to my last podcast on Cosmic Blonde. Kristen, are my sisters hurting you on purpose? No. What they do, what they say are projections of their own pain. Stop taking things personally. Choose to have boundaries instead. Maria, go out and have some fun. Just be smart about it. I think, Shannon, I think sound healing would be good for you, though. If you're not already, I'm sure you're already doing it, but I think sound healing would be good for you. Help you surrender. Well, Thomas apologized to me. Yeah, in his own way. Just get really clear on your expectations. The whole lease and key thing, I don't get a yes or no. That's why I'm not answering you. I'm not going to make up an answer. If I don't get it, I don't get it. Brooke, yes. I feel like in about 60 days, give or take. Remember, take times and dates with a grain of salt. Will I get the job I want? Exactly what I heard is you're going to get the job you need. I don't know what that means, but that's what I heard. Hello, welcome in. I'm not going to read for somebody else, so please don't, if you ask me a question about somebody else, I'm not going to read for them. They're not here. I'm not going to encroach on them. If there's something going on in your relationship that doesn't feel right, it's to have a conversation. If you're already wondering if he's cheated or if you should leave, you probably should. If you're questioning anything in your relationship that's showing you where there's doubt, you need to ask yourself, why do you feel that way? What actions have been taken? What proof do you have in your physical reality? What are you feeling? And then you sit down and you have a conversation and you say, this is how I'm feeling. This is how I'm perceiving things. What's going on with you? How are you perceiving things? Because I could be reading this completely wrong. And you just have to have, when did we stop communicating? When did we stop having transparent conversations? You have to do that. Casey, yes. One yes or no per person, please. Crystal, it feels like you're trying to find what you're supposed to be doing instead of doing what you want to be doing. That's how it feels to me. Will I get a job soon? Yes. Look outside the box of what you normally look for. Lauren, yes, things are going to shift for you. Hold on, surrender. Well, not hold on, surrender. I feel like you're holding on to something too much. Carla, you have two that are pretty prominent around you. That's not a yes or no question, though. I shouldn't have even answered that. Changed my question. I'm turning away from Western medicine and seeking holistic approach. Are you asking if you should do that, Shelley? I didn't even see your original question. Must have blocked it. Allie, yes. I'm not going to read for somebody else to see who they want. You guys, choose yourself. Stop chasing after relationships. If it's not happening naturally and easily, it's not meant to be. Why are you trying to force something? If they want to talk to you, they will. If they want you to be in their life, you will. If they're not making an effort, if they're not reaching, if they're not calling out, stop pining. Let them go. Let them go. Should I stay in the medical field? Yes. I feel like you're going to shift into a different part of the medical field, but yes. Yes, exactly, Courtney. No need to say sorry. I'm going to sound like a broken record just because I say it so much on these lives, but it's because I want you guys to be healthy. I want you guys to see your worth. I want you guys to see how fucking amazing you are, chasing after these mediocre people who aren't worthy of your time and energy, you know? So it might come off as a little bit of tough love, but man, I hate watching y'all suffer and feeling that energy of wanting someone to want you so bad or to get back together. Something better's meant for you. Okay, I have about a half an hour left, so just recap because we have quite a bit of new people in here. It is one free yes or no per person. If I don't have a yes or no for you, I tend to not answer you, so it's not that I'm ignoring you. If you want a mini read from your guides, or you have a specific question you want answered from your guides, that's a minimum $15 donation through Cash App or Venmo. And if you've never had a full session with me, you can get, I did bring back my first time client offer. So if you've never had a Quantum Soul session with me, they are not a 60-minute channeled reading. Read what the session is. I do bring in your guides. I do bring in your ancestors. Read what it's about, but it is more than half off for your very first time with me. So it's $99 instead of, I think, $225. So if you've never had 60 minutes with me and it calls to you, you need more time with me, feel free to check that out if it's something that speaks to you. And if you do donate for a mini read today, please let me know so that I can prioritize you. Just go to the link in my bio and you'll scroll down to sessions, and then you'll look for Quantum Soul session, and you'll see there'll be two prices, my regular price and then the first time price. And then there's other sessions there too. I always tell people just do the Quantum Soul session first because it's at the special rate. But if you want me if you want to let me know what you're looking for, you can do so in the notes. Like you'll see I offer sessions that are designed around what your gifts are, what your purpose is, what your mission is. If you want that in your $99 session, just make a comment that that's what you want. That way I can prepare for it, because those I actually need to channel ahead of time. Yeah, and it is a great deal. I do it for people for their first time because, you know, when you don't know somebody, when you're not used to working with their energy, I feel like it's nice to have an introductory rate, you know, because then you are more likely to book that experience. Now, have I followed people and said yes to a $400 reading or session? Absolutely, on the first go, but I'm that way. If I trust my intuition and I just go for it. But it also helps people that maybe can't afford my regular prices, and it gets them a little bit of help. So I don't know, I took it away for a while, but I just brought it back. It helps people. So as long as I can do it, I might as well. Haley, will I feel better in my new job? Yes, I don't think it was ever the job, though. I think it was the environment or the people. And you also need to work on your boundaries. You take on too many people's shit. Angie, is David worth my time? Maybe. I think you aren't. You allow too much. You need to get clear about what you want, because then that will change everything for you. Diana, will Nick and I reconcile again? If you want to, but I don't think it's good for you. Fern, yes, of course, you have gifts you should focus on. Brandy, I mean, you can do what you want. It's possible, but I don't think it's a good idea. I think it will cause you more pain than it's worth. Priscilla, I'm not going to answer that question. I invite you to have a conversation with him. Having somebody answer that question is not going to be beneficial to you at all. Kelly, I actually think you're going to get a new job. So you could move up in that job, but I feel like ultimately you're going to get a new job. Ashley, if that's what you want, if you want to pursue a career in realty. Grace, yes. In the next year. I'm not gonna say for sure this year. I will not answer questions if your spouses are cheating on you. I will not do that. I think that is not a good use of a psychic mediums and gifts. I think that is opportunity for you guys to have conversations and trust your instincts. Janet, yes, but I don't think it's yes, I just think your expectations are going to be different than how it plays out. Will Tyree and I reconcile? No. Let him go. Let it go. Move on. Hi, Crystal. I don't think it's going to sell by next month. It could, but I don't. It's leaning more towards no. I do want to say, I'm going to give you a little extra just because it's coming through. I feel like the person who buys it is somebody that you know, or a friend of a friend, or a friend of a family member. So I think it's like a word of mouth thing that will ultimately happen, if that makes sense. If I don't answer your question, it's because you're either not, it's either I'm not getting a yes or no, or you're wording it in a way that it's not a yes or no. Do I prefer questions or mini for, so honestly, you guys, if there's something you want to know, do it in the form of a question. The guides are going to give you more. What you want to know and what the guides want you to know are always generally two different things. Most of the time what people ask is more ego-based. They're materialistic things like money, love, that kind of stuff. The guides want you to know other things. Those things aren't really important, to be honest. So if there's something that you really want to know, I always say ask the question. And then I'm gonna give you more because the guides are gonna bring other things through. But it is a mini read, so it's not like I'm going to be on here for 20 minutes. I mean, sometimes the reads can be very extensive and sometimes they're not. Everybody's different. Maria, will you move to Colorado? Not this year, at least. Aubrey, I'm not getting a clear yes or no. I know you've posted that a couple of times. I do feel like there's a move coming, but it's not real strong right now. So keep doing whatever it is that you're doing, because I think something has to shift for you. Will I marry again? Yes. It's gonna be a bit though. Ronnie, it's not that you should stay single, it's that you should heal. It's that you should focus on you. It's the same thing for all the people asking about relationship stuff. It's focus on you. It's choose you. If they're not calling you, move on. If they're not wanting to connect with you, move on. If they're not putting in the effort, move on. If you keep pining over them and asking, do they love me? Are they thinking about me? Are they gonna come back to me? You're saying you're not worthy. You're abandoning yourself and trying to find your worth in somebody else. Why would you want to do that? Love yourself enough to say no and choose you. So if they're thinking about you or not, it doesn't matter. They have to be willing to take the action. They have to be willing. And if you're asking me if you're gonna reconcile, I can see it from your soul's perspective and your soul contract, but I can't see it from theirs because I don't have their permission. So you have to take it with a grain of salt. And it's always a call for communication. If relationships didn't work, it's because there's something not compatible between you. The communication is off, your needs don't match. So the communication is always the answer. Getting clear and honest with yourself is always the answer. Okay, we have a Cash App. Okay, Kelly, do you have a specific question or do you want a general? Mini reads, you can go to the link in my bio. They're a minimum donation of $15. I prefer Venmo or Cash App. I can probably get one more on my list after Kelly because I have a private mentor student that I have to get to today. Okay, so it's KK Land. Let me find general, please. Okay. Oh, Deborah, are you talking about physically healed? If it's life healed, it's a lifelong journey. You're already healed, honey. But I have a feeling you're talking about your physical health. Okay. All right, you guys, I'm going to pause from the yes or no's, and I'm going to focus on Kelly's reading. Sorry, I'm a physical medium, so I'm going to transmute and clear some of your energy. So please drink lemon water today, Kelly. Or clearing some blocks. Lots of things going on in you. The one that I keep being drawn to the most is you feel stuck or frozen or like you're afraid to move forward. Whenever I get this feeling, it's like your nervous system is in freeze. You're not taking the actions to move forward in your reality. Maybe it's because of fear. Maybe it's because you don't know what to do. Like you're lost. There's no clarity. But I feel this energy of stuck and frozen. There is a lot of tension in the front of your jaw and the front of your teeth. We hold a lot of our fears in our teeth, but this definitely is a lot of fear and resistance in your energy that's wanting to come up. It almost feels like you are so afraid to feel something, and you just need to feel it. If you can relax your body and just allow yourself to feel it, whatever it is, just tell yourself, this is what this feels like. This is what this feels like. And just allow yourself to feel it. It won't last a long time, but it will help you to transmute it and be able to move through it, and then the clarity will come. But there is quite a bit of shifts happening within your belief systems as well, which is very necessary for where you're going. I also feel a lot of shifts and changes with your ears. This is a frequency shift. You could also be clairaudient, but the prominent thing that I'm feeling is a frequency shift. So this can cause pain in the ears or frequency in the ears. It can just any kind of ear problems, but I can feel the pressure. But this is on both, so that's my symbol for you're in the middle of a frequency shift internally, like you're going through a frequency upgrade. You connect to and are surrounded by a lot of higher dimensional beings. We call them interdimensionals or galactic. It's a lot of high frequency. I can feel the rotation inside of you. I don't know if you've had a harder life or a lot more challenges in life. But you definitely feel like a starseed. You feel like somebody who has an important mission here that you are meant to step into. And that's why I feel like, because I keep hearing proceed with caution, like there's some big changes ahead for you. And when they say proceed with caution, that means slow down, be more present, be more aware of what's happening in your reality, what's showing up for you. Because I feel like there's opportunities or things in the past that you've missed because you discounted them, or you couldn't imagine that was for you. Got a little tongue-tied. But we got to work through this fear. There's a lot of fear showing up for you. So I'm not sure what you're afraid of. Let me see if you've commented. I do have PayPal if you, I saw someone did, so I will get to you in just a second. Afraid to fail, there you are. I was like, I know what she's commented in here somewhere. But I need to tell, I'm glad you said that, because you can't succeed without failure, honey. You can't. You just can't. And it's not failure, it's wisdom. Look at how many versions of Windows or Mac was created before it was successful. Amazon started as a book club, and look how big it is now. So I want you to remember that when you're afraid of failing. It's like, no, you shouldn't be afraid to fail. You should hope that you fail, because every time you fail, you learn something. So it's not a failure. You go, okay, this didn't work. What did I learn? How can I apply that wisdom moving forward? But I think that's the you think it's the fear of failure. It's not. It's the fear of success, they're saying. You're afraid of success because you're afraid you won't be able to sustain it. You're afraid that it's going to get really good and then you're going to lose it. You're afraid of what's going to happen when you reach a certain level. And what they're saying is come back, be here, be in this now moment, be within what's in front of you. Allow yourself to focus on the step and not the staircase. So trying to focus on failure leads to success. It's just be in the moment, and instead of labeling something as a failure, label it as, oh, okay, I'm learning about something. This didn't work. Let me try this. What can I try different? How can I do this differently? But focus on what's in front of you. Because I really do feel that while you think it's the fear of failure, it's the fear of success, because you can't quite see how you're going to get there yet. And that can be overwhelming to you, and that can be paralyzing to you. And that's why I feel this frozen energy inside of you. And don't focus on the outcome either. Don't focus on the outcome. Focus on the creation. Focus on the activities that you want to do. Just focus on you and having joy in whatever it is that you're doing. And that will take some of the pressure off. I feel like you're putting way too much pressure. And that leads to combustion, right? You're the one who's gonna combust. Yeah, exactly. Fear of uncertainty, fear of the unknown. All of those things. I do have Venmo. It's all, you guys, it's all linked in my tip jar. I lost my stream of consciousness. It'll come back. Oh, uncertainty, thank you. Everything's uncertain. I just did a video on it today. It's probably being pushed out right now because I'm live. Everything's uncertain, everything. You could have a W-2 job. You could have a thriving business. You could have a beautiful spouse, and it could all change tomorrow. You could lose the job out of nowhere. The business could fail and close. The partner could get up and walk out the door. Nothing is ever guaranteed. Nothing externally is certain, except we have placed these false illusions on those things. When you understand that certainty is just that, it's concrete, you actually want things to be uncertain, because anything that's uncertain means anything is possible. Where there is no certainty, it's infinite possibilities. You understand? So you actually want things to be uncertain, because once they're certain, and you may not like that certainty. So it's almost better to live in the delusion of uncertainty and be like, cool, I don't know what's gonna happen. That means, yes, my ego's telling me it could go bad, but because that's not certain, it means it could also go good, and I get to choose, right? There's a beautiful saying that the guides say all the time. Faith and fear both require you to believe in something you can't see. It's your choice which one you focus on. You know what I'm saying? So that's the shift that you need to make, is really working through that fear of uncertainty, really working through the fear of what's going to be. Don't focus on the outcome. Don't focus on that. Come back. Practice presence. Practice being here in the now moment. Practice focusing on what's in front of you. If you have a bunch of things that you're like, oh, I need to do all these things, make a list, prioritize them. Most important to least important, and then focus one at a time. I think you just get too ahead of yourself. You get too far into the future. But this energy is really amplifying your fears and where they live in your body. So something you can do is, when the anxiety, because it will appear as anxiety or worry, but it's fear. When that shows up for you, you can ask yourself, where does this live in my body? And then once it lights up in your body, whether it's your jaw, your chest, your shins, which is all the things that I'm feeling right now for you, is start labeling every sensation that's attached. How does it move? Is the pain or the discomfort in your body, or the sensation in your body, is it tight? Is it loose? Does it spin? Does it pulse? Is it hot? Is it cold? Label every sensation until you can't label it anymore. And that's a biohack, to hack into the energy, to break it free. And then you're gonna have to ask yourself, what's the story I'm telling myself? Because you're telling yourself a story. So you get to change that. You get to change what that story is. You can be like, oh, I don't like that story. Or that's somebody else's story. That if it doesn't feel good, it's not for you. It's not a resonant match to you. So you get to choose what you hold on to. But that will help you shift, start moving through it. I also have I have a digital course called Heal. It's a course in radical forgiveness and self-love. I've made it free. This was one of the very first courses I ever put out in like 2016. It's 6 modules. It is a really good course. So if you're somebody who maybe doesn't have a lot of money, or you just want to see how I work, it's obviously an older program, but it is free. All you have to do is put your email address in and you can enjoy it. And it might help you, because there's prompts in there to really help you get clear on the stories that you're telling yourself. So just know that that is a resource that's there for you. Overthinker, yeah. Overthinkers are overfeelers as well. But also that further cements the fact that you're most likely clairaudient. And they're saying you're definitely claircognizant as well. But with the when you're listening to all the thoughts in your head, listen for the words we and you. If you're listening to your thoughts from a place of observation and curiosity, then you're going to observe that, and you're going to be able to notice when you hear we or you in your head. When that happens, that is somebody speaking to you. You're not creating that thought. So listen, you are being guided. It's just a lot of noise in there. But that's what we have for you, my love. Do you have any questions about what we have shared with you? You're very, very welcome. If you click the link in my bio, right at the top, you'll see it. It says Heal, a course in radical forgiveness and self-love. I look very different because it's old, but it's still very good content. Cynthia, it's possible that the money will come in, but whether or not that happens, I feel like there's a move coming for you. Okay, we have another person that paid for a read, so let me grab that. I have actually quite a few very affordable classes, you guys. If you're wanting to become your best self and learn how to step into your potential, it's called Becoming Your Best Self. If you're struggling with money and you want to learn how to recalibrate your beliefs and learn how to work with the law of assumption, the recalibration experience is a 40-day brain rewiring thing. So there's lots of affordable courses there for you. Is it, I hope I don't butcher this, is it Mitzel? Is that how I say it? I hate messing up people's names. Do you have a, okay, good. Do you have a question or do you want a general? Gigi, I don't think she's fully made up her mind yet. My ex. Can you clarify what your question is, Mitzel? Your ex doesn't communicate and just throwing so much hurtful words. Okay, do you want me to look at your guys' contract together? What is your ex's first name? Chris, okay. Peacefully, okay. Oh, you're already in divorce. All right, let me see. Let me see what we got for you two. Oh, girl, I can feel the stress or not the stress, the baggage that you are carrying on your shoulder blades. I actually feel like your divorce is going to start to move a lot quicker. I feel like in the next few months, I don't know, I feel like 60 days, maybe a little more than that, give or take, but that's a window when I feel like things are really gonna start to close up. So it may not be completely finalized, but you guys are gonna be finalizing things in the next few months. You're carrying a lot of weight that isn't yours to carry on your shoulder blades. So please set that down. Please set that down. I feel like there's a lot of things from your marriage. There's a lot of things that the should-haves, could-haves. Why did they do this? Why did I do that? There's a lot of that that's weighing on you. And it's okay to look at those things, but don't hold on to the stories of what could have been, what should have been. You know, why are they doing this? Don't hold on to any of that. Set that all down. You can get clear on what it is that you want now. And sometimes that means we have to look back at what we didn't get or what we did experience to help us clarify that. But the relationship wasn't wasted, and there's a lot that you can learn from it, but you gotta be willing to set down all the baggage and all the pain. I feel like there is a lot of resentment and anger towards yourself. Maybe you intuitively knew things ahead of time, or maybe you stayed a little too long, but it feels like there's some resentment, which is anger turned inward. Like you're angry at yourself, you're punishing yourself for things like that. So be really careful with that kind of energy, because it's not going to help you. And he feels the same way. I feel like when I look at the contract of the two of you together, it feels like there's just a lot of anger. There's just a lot of hurt, and anger is grief's bodyguard. So we get angry as a way of protecting ourselves from feeling the pain or letting somebody know that they've caused us pain or that they're hurting us. But you have to remember what other people say and do is a projection of their own pain. So don't take what he's doing and saying personally. He's just trying to hurt you. And if you let him hurt you, then he wins. So don't let it. Just be very, when it comes to him in the proceedings, be very neutral. As neutral as you can be. I know it's not easy. I've been through 3 divorces, I know. But be very neutral about it. Know that whatever he's doing and saying is just him throwing out his own pain. Are you expecting or wanting a financial settlement? Because I feel like there's going to be some type of financial settlement. Hey, Christy, I'm doing well. Where are you? I got to make sure that I'm not missing your comments. Yes, it is hard. Okay, there you are. I don't know what you're saying note to. What are you saying note to? Oh, we need to make sure we pay our own debts. Maybe that's what the financial settlement is. I feel like there's going to be some settlements. So it could be debts being settled. It's just the way that it came across. They're saying the finances will be settled. So that could be a settlement. That could be your bills being settled. But it's all going to be taken care of. It's all going to work out. I don't think it's going to go exactly as you want it to, but again, you have to, there's going to be compromises. There's going to be things that you do. Yeah, this is a stalling tactic. He's angry, he's not really angry, he's hurt, but it's coming off that way. And it's childish, and that's a lot of times what they do. When we're hurt, it brings up our childhood wounds, and so we act like a child. And so just be persistent, but from a neutral space. Don't let him get to you. Don't let him get under you. Yeah, but you can't, if it works, right? If it doesn't work, he's not going to keep doing it. That's why we keep telling you, don't be neutral. Don't let him get to you. And if it's bothering you, don't let him know that it's bothering you. Sit down and deal with the trigger, because he's pushing a button of something that lives inside of you. He's just projecting his own pain and taking it out on other people. So when you see that, have compassion for him instead. Have compassion for him. When he's attacking you, instead go, oh my gosh, he's hurting so much that he's just spewing out venom. I'm going to wrap him in love because he needs it. Right? So you got to change the way that you're working with him, because that is going to change how things shift. But thank you, Christy, as long as he can get to you, he's going to keep doing it. So the more you detach and not let him bother you, the faster this is going to proceed. But I do feel like in the next few months that things are going to be wrapping up, be finalizing. When he can no longer bother you, that's when he's going to leave you alone. Oh, thank you, Christy. It's my favorite color. When he no longer gets a high or gets his jollies or gets fed off of poking your buttons, that's why they do it. They poke your buttons, you invoke a big emotional reaction, and they get that energy. When you stop allowing him to bother you, he's not going to bother you. Did he poke you a lot in your marriage, though? Did he know how to push your buttons and get under your skin? I mean, everybody does, but I feel like he would have been more intentional about it. He just feels very wounded. The girlfriend isn't anything. I honestly feel like it's kind of like a new supply. right? It's a new person to drain. It's a new person to poke. It's a new person to get energy from and to control and manipulate. And as long as he can do it, he's going to do it to whoever. So when you stop giving him any kind of energy around it, that's when it will change. And you can have boundaries. You are allowed to have boundaries. You can change the communication. I don't know if you have an attorney, but you can change the communication and say, like, you know, it's only via email, or it's only through the attorneys, or something like that. You're allowed to have boundaries. And you're allowed to say, I don't allow people to talk to me this way. I mean, you're not married to, you're not together anymore. Why in hell would you, even if you were, you know, don't let people walk on you. Don't let people take your power. Stand in your power. You are worthy. You are strong. You are enough. And you don't deserve that. Nobody does. So when he spews his venom and talks his crap and acts ridiculous, see it going into the ethers. Like, don't allow it to come into you by any means. You know, maybe even just telling him, if you don't have a lawyer, it might be something that you get a consultation on, but then you email him. Start doing all communication via email or text message. No phone calls, no in-person stuff. And just say, like, listen, here's the deal. If we can't sit down by whatever date, then I've consulted some attorneys and I'm going to move forward in that way. But I would like for this to get wrapped up and for us to not have to go that way. And you've given him a chance. So that might help speed things along. It's not a threat. Don't come off threatening. Just be like, listen, let's just get this wrapped up. Otherwise, I'm going to have to get an attorney. It's going to cost us all a bunch more money. It's going to be, we don't want to do that. Let's just get this finalized. Just stop. Don't give him any more of your energy. You not being with him is a blessing. That relationship was never good for you. It's a blessing that it's over. Take what you can learn from it and allow yourself to move on. But don't let him affect you anymore. You've let him affect you for too long. You're very welcome. And I'm sending you so much love, because divorces are hard, and I know that they're hard. Okay. La, da, da. Okay, looks like that was there isn't anybody new. Okay, so we're gonna close paid readings for the day because I have to get off in a few minutes because I have a private mentor student. So I'm gonna scroll and ask just a couple more. Yes, Christy, go ahead, ask your question. I'm gonna answer a couple more yes or no's. And before I do that, just a reminder, if you've never had a 60-minute session with me, they're called Quantum Soul Sessions. For those that are brand new, that have never had a session, you can get 60 minutes with me for $99. It's called the first time client rate. So that's available. I have Heal, a radical course in self-love and forgiveness. It's available free of charge for anybody that is struggling with forgiveness, who's struggling with help. There's some resources there available for you too, okay? All right. Will my friend Casey reach out to reconcile our friendship? Yes, but I think you guys are going to be on different wavelengths for a little while, so I don't think it's going to happen right away. You're just not in the same place at the same time, but you will come back together. But there's some things that you both are going through. There's different versions of you showing up every day. Monica, Work has been heavy, dealing with coworkers, boss. Am I supposed to find a job? You can if you want to, but this is happening so that you will have boundaries, honey. Boundaries. What's the one more thing? I talked about this yesterday, Christy, on my live. We have to remember that we are shifting versions of ourselves so many times, and sometimes that makes us go through periods where we're just not a resonant match for the people that we love. And so maybe the person that you're talking to right now isn't the person that you've always known. She's gonna go through some shifts and changes. You're gonna go through some shifts and changes, and then you're gonna realign. It's happened with my own best friend. We've gone weeks where we just don't talk for a little while because, you know, we've taken on a different version of ourselves to work through something. And so just be patient with it. I'm so tired of them filtering like almost every comment. It's exhausting. Monica, you can, absolutely. But your boundaries, hon, boundaries. What you will accept and tolerate and what you won't. Just because you work there doesn't mean you have to be walked on or treated poorly. Okay, my loves, thank you so much for hopping on. I may get on tomorrow. I'm not gonna guarantee that. It depends on how I feel after the eclipse today. So if I have the energy, I will come on tomorrow. If not, I'll be on sometime this weekend. I'm gonna try to come live more. I know it's been like 6 weeks, 8 weeks since I've been live, but I will be coming live more. So just put me on notifications so that you know. And again, if you want to take advantage of the 60-minute Quantum Soul session for first-time clients, that special rate is there for you. And if you're somebody who's struggling and you want to work through forgiveness and self-love, I have a free course called Heal. All that's linked in my bio. Lots of free resources, lots of paid resources. So you're not alone, you're supported. Just surrender, stay present, and choose yourself. Choose yourself in every moment, okay? So I will see you guys next time. Bye for now.